Put hashtag replay. I hope you're doing amazing. What's up, everybody? Hey, Wellness Warriors, James Ng here. Today, I'm going to cover the answers to a question I get a lot when I have our clients on these body balancing skinny drops. If you're not familiar with them, they support the thyroid, they balance the hormones, they cut bad cravings. And the average woman that uses them loses half a pound a day. The average man loses 2/3 of a pound a day, which is why they're going viral. If you want more information on them, be sure to message the person that connected you to this as well too. But a common question that I get, and I wonder if you've experienced this, is I get something like this. They're like, help, James, I'm using these drops and I'm not losing any weight. Is something wrong with me? I want to address that today. And if you've experienced that and you're on these drops, let me know in the comments below as well too. And this is what I typically tell my clients is, first of all, understand that we see a lot of amazing results on these drops. Like, a lot of people typically in their first week, they experience weight loss. I see a lot of people losing 3 pounds, 5 pounds, 7 pounds. I see a lot of amazing results of better sleep and better energy and better support. But that's not everybody. And I want to remind each and every single one of us that, first of all, when it comes to changing your body, when it comes to balancing your hormones, that everybody is different. Okay. Can you put that in the comments below, by the way? Put I am unique. Put that in the comments below if you're willing to understand that, right? I am unique. You're special. And it's important to understand this because our bodies did not get to where they are right now overnight. So sometimes it might not be overnight that it's going to get to the next place as well too. So it's important, first of all, to have the right mindset to things. In fact, one of the biggest issues that we deal with now in our world is that we expect a microwave society. We expect everything to happen right now. And we're always looking for the quick fix. And while something like these drops are a great tool that do get better, faster results than most other things, while still understand that it's a journey that we have to be on. In fact, if you're overstressing, this is why it's important to also not overstress. Is that, did you know that when you stress out, you raise your cortisol levels? And if your goal is to lose weight, if you have more cortisol, then you're literally shooting yourself in the foot, because more cortisol means a boost of, it means that you're decreasing your body's ability to actually release fat. Too much stress means you don't lose fat. So stop stressing out, stop tripping out. Just understand you're on your own journey. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the process, right? So first, there's a mind state thing. You're unique. Everybody's different. I've seen clients that first week they didn't get a change on the scale. Second week they didn't get a change on the scale. Third week, the metabolic barrier just went gone. And it was like, you can see the breakthroughs start to happen. Why? The body starts to balance, the hormones start to get back in balance, right? Don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 10. Okay, so the first thing is understand that the drops do work, but sometimes our body, because we're unique, need to go on a journey. Okay. Number 2 thing I'd like to remind ourselves is this, is that even if your scale doesn't change, it doesn't change what the product and the ingredients are. So one thing that helps me as our bodies are going through transitions is getting educated, is understanding what's actually in the product. So what helps me a lot, because I'm a natural skeptic, is I like to read up on the ingredients. I love to understand how methylated B12 is helping my body to actually de-stress, boost my metabolism, and actually do a lot of things in the body. I love to understand how homeopathy works. I love to understand how thyroidinum, one of the ingredients in these drops, dropper number 1, actually does support the thyroid and it does support the body balance. Like, I like to understand what the ingredients actually do. Just because I don't see it, just because I don't feel it, doesn't mean that it's working. It's not working. In fact, let me submit this to you. I believe that the things that we can't see are more real than the things that we can see. This goes in our health. This goes in our bodies. This goes in spiritual. This goes in life. Would anyone be willing to agree with me on that as well too? Put a yes in the comments if you're like, yeah, a lot of things going on. A lot of things going on. Okay. So if you understand the mind state and you're in it for the change and the transformation, you understand that your body's unique. You understand that you're putting good things in your body and the body knows what to do with it over the course of time. Then from there, number 3 is this. Understand that all wins are not just scale victories. Yes, we want to lose weight. Yes, we want to fit better in our clothes. Yes, we want our body fat to go down. But you know, what's more important is that we're looking at what we call non-scale victories many times. I had a client I was just talking to right before this. This person was like, I don't know if they're working. I don't see my scale change. I'm like, have you experienced other benefits? And they told me that they experienced their cravings went down. Their energy went up. Their sleep got better. And you know what I told my friend? I said, I actually believe it's just as important, if not more important, that you're actually getting better sleep, better health, and better everything. More than just the scale change. Now, I get it. I'm vain. I want my scale to change. I want to look and feel good. We're going to get there. But would you be willing to agree with me that the internal change is just as important as the external change? Right? Put health in the comments if you do agree with that. So start celebrating the non-scale victories. Why? This is not to like, it's almost to trick yourself, because as you're making this change and this transition to actually lose the weight that you want to, oh, let me grab this one in just a little bit, to actually make the changes that you want to, then start documenting the other things that are happening. Are you sleeping better? Are you getting better energy? Are your cravings going down? Are you in a better mood? Like, these are all important things, because internal changes happen first before external. That's the same thing with everything in life. So if you're not seeing your scale change yet when you're using these drops, just understand, hey, work on the things on the inside, and then it'll start to expose things on the outside. Love it, Ebby. Love it, Lilette. Glad Kathy and Joanne, you guys are agreeing with this. Okay. By the way, if you're watching this, tag someone that you feel is into, that you think needs to hear this. Maybe even share this as well too. Okay. Going over how to break through plateaus. Going over, if you're using these drops, you're not losing weight, what to do. Mind state, health. Start documenting the things that are going on, to start putting yourself in a better state, to start encouraging yourself to start to move forward. Now, with all those down, all right, how do we then start to continue to tweak things? How do we start to break plateaus if you're not losing weight? Okay. So our first goal in this drop system, I'm just going to tell you our trick. Our trick is, we're tricking you to make the right health habits in life that are going to sustain you and give you a really good life, right? We all know that if you want to live well, if you want to be at a healthy weight, you should eat well. You might consider some exercise, right? Like, we all know the right things to do typically, but it's easier said than done. So for many of our clients, when we tell them to use these drops, the very first thing is to make sure that you just get them in your system. And the drops work very well when they're out of the body and in your system. They're not doing anything sitting in the pretty bottle. And they will. We've seen many people use the drops, not change anything. I've had friends of mine eat ice cream sundaes and buffets, and they use this and boom, they're losing weight. Now, I would probably submit this to you. First of all, every body is different, but also that might suggest that that person that had that, their body was so out of whack that just the fact that they put something good in their body and they saw changes, it's like their body was like, I've been craving something healthy for my entire life. Wow. And then they just start letting go of weight, right? Sometimes people, they just, remember, we have different health backgrounds. You know, so if you've been somebody that's already been very mindful of your health, you're already eating really well, then you have to understand that we might have different reactions to things. So we start with just incorporating the drops. But if you want to tune and tweak things even more, because if your goal is to start to drop things on the scale, and so far that has not been working, then here's 3 general things that we do consider in our Wellness 360 group. We do share these. If you're not a part of that, feel free to come on to our group. It's a free community group. We'd love to have you be a part of it. But we've noticed after coaching clients for over 10 years, there are three things that tend to lead to the best results, right? This is somebody that wants to totally change up their health. This is someone that totally wants to drop things on the scale. Let me make sure that this is working. This would be amazing if it actually did share my screen. But we have three general rules, okay? For some reason, my Facebook page is not pulling up, but I will share with you the three rules. Number one, okay, repeat after me. Drink water. Put it in the chats. Drink water. The very first thing that most people don't do is they're actually not drinking enough water. The way that people lose fat through this system is they urinate it out, right? Fat comes from the urine. I've had clients that they were at a plateau. We checked on these three rules and we noticed that they weren't drinking enough water. So here's my screen right here. You notice this is rule number one, right? So drink enough water. And guess what? They drink like a gallon of water. How much is enough? I would lean on drinking more water than less water. Some people say drink half your body weight in ounces. I say aim for a gallon. Aim for a gallon. Just try to drink enough water. And what happens is your body starts to flush the system. I had this client, they were plateaued, drank a gallon of water, and then the next day dropped 4 pounds. Hallelujah. Right? So drink enough water. In fact, comment below how many ounces of water. Put in your chat, like put in the comments below how many ounces of water you drink a day. I drink at least a gallon of water, if not more. Right? It's really hard. Some people say, can I drink too much water? Yes, but most of us are not going to purposely over drink water. I'm talking about like if you drown yourself in like 5 gallons of water, yeah, that's kind of bad, right? But drink enough water. Okay, so water is number one. Number two, if you are still not having success seeing the number on the scale go down, we're going to start going a little bit more strict. Okay, everybody is different. And I tell people this, I'm like, sometimes you have to be your own best experiment and you have to tune things back, take a step back to take a giant leap forward. So another big thing is we do have an approved list. These things on the approved list are things that we already know to do. These are non-inflammatory foods that help you to balance your body. Our goal is to balance your hormones. And when your hormones are balanced, your body can drop weight. So things like good veggies, things like good meats, things like good proteins, right? Things like good fruit, things like eliminating sugar, things like eliminating carbs. I know I'm Asian. I love my rice as well too. I loved my rice. And by the way, that's why I love the drops, because they did for me change my hormones. They changed my cravings. I don't crave rice. I'm Chinese, guys. I don't crave rice. That's like a cuss word to Asian people and Latinos out there. So, but we want to avoid those types of things because they are not helping us to speed up our metabolism. They're not helping us to balance our hormones. They're not helping us to be able to let go of our fat. So we do want to follow the approved list to the best of our degree. Many times, carbs are actually not necessary. My friend here said carbs are not necessary. Did you know that there's no such thing as an essential carb? There is an essential fatty acid. There is an essential amino acids. But did you know that fats and protein in the body can actually go through a process to be transitioned and converted into carbs? Did you know that? Carbs, you can actually literally live life with 0 carbs. Now, I'm not saying to do that. But the biggest lie that the food pyramid, talk about pyramid schemes, the biggest lie that food pyramids in the world have these days is they told us, remember back in the day, not anymore, but back in the day, they had this food pyramid. They said, if you want to be healthy, you remember what was on the bottom of the pyramid, the fattest in the pyramid? It was carbs. And guess who funded the food pyramid? The cereal companies. Go figure. Kellogg, right? These types of companies. Like, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Like, go look it up. And guess what happened? when people started consuming more carbs, I'm not saying carbs are evil, right? But I'm saying overconsumption of things like processed sugar, things like all of this other carbs. Overconsumption has just led us to a really bad situation. It led to a spike in obesity. It led to a spike in diabetes. It led to all types of health issues. Why? Because there is no such thing as an essential carb. And anywho, that's a separate situation. I'll probably have to do another live on that. So follow the proof list. If you're not losing weight, you're using these drops and you're like, what can I do to tune some things up? It is part nutrition, right? Like, what do you do? If I think we all know, if you want to lose weight, you should probably eat a little bit less. Actually, let me correct myself. Most people don't need to eat less. Most people I found need to eat less of the wrong thing and more of the right thing. In fact, most of us, if I were to actually go through what you ate in a day, 95% of people that I talk to, when I ask them, hey, let me know what you eat in a day. Did you know most people undereat rather than overeat? Facebook group is called Wellness 360 if you want to join our community. They undereat. I was undereating. So you're telling me I have to eat more to lose more? Hey, usually. Depends. But most people, yes. And when I say lose more, I'm saying lose fat, not the bad stuff, not the good stuff that you want to hang on to, right? So breaking plateaus, drink enough water. Number 2, eat off the approved food list. Like, I know, tune it back a little bit, simplify. Don't worry. Our goal is to get a control of your weight again. Our goal is to get a control of your body again. And then once you get control of it, then you can start adding things back in, right? But this is if you're real serious. If you really want to like break through a plateau, then take a look at that, right? And then number 3, the third rule that we have is to make sure that you are eating enough protein. Okay, you're eating enough protein. Most people are eating way too little protein. Every single cell in the body requires protein. Every hair cell, every muscle cell, every single part in your body requires protein. If you want healthy cells, you want healthy immune system, if you want to let go of fat rather than hang on to it, eat enough protein. I typically say eat at least 1 gram of protein per 1 pound of lean body weight that you're at. For women, typically around 80 to 100 grams of protein a day. If you're not familiar with what that is, hold out your fist with me. Can you hold out your fist with me? Hold out your fist. And I know some of us have different fists than others. I have a pretty big hand. But around the fist sized protein, let's say it's chicken or fish or something, this is around 4 ounces of meat, which is around 25 ounces of protein. So if you have 4 fists worth of protein a day, that's around 100 grams of protein a day. Does that make sense? Put a yes in the comments. That makes sense, right? 1 fist equals 25 grams ish. Some people say my fist is small. Well, maybe it's 20 grams. My fist is big. Maybe it's 30. But just generalities, you don't have to get super scientific on it unless you're a bodybuilder. Then that's a separate situation. For most of us, you might want 3 or 4 fistful of some type of protein, and to make sure that you're eating enough, right? So if you're using these drops and you're not losing fat and you're at a plateau, then let me recap a couple of the things that we talked about. First, I'll understand everyone is unique. Your body's different. Sometimes it takes longer than others. It's okay, right? We're going to get to the finish line. Number 2, understand that the ingredients in the drops, they're doing something for you, right? Like really understand and get educated on yourself on what the different ingredients do, and it's not all just about the scale. Like count your non-scale victories. Number 3, drink enough water. Aim for like a gallon-ish a day. Number 2, eat off the approved food list. Make sure that you're eating an anti-inflammatory diet. Number 3, eat enough protein. And then if all that still is not working, and remember, I didn't even talk about exercising at this point, right? This is not including exercise. Most people don't need to exercise more than when they start using these drops. In fact, when I lost 25 pounds in 40 days and got a 6-pack for the first time in my life, you know what I did? Use the drops, follow those rules, did not exercise purposely. I just wanted to see if they worked. You can consider some exercise if you want. But one last thing to consider. If all of that, I had a client earlier this week, and this person was on it, diligent, like faithfully following all the rules and still not losing fat. And I'm like, all right, you know what? There's one final thing you might want to consider. It's this other detox product called Restorex. So these drops are the body balancing ones. The Restorex is a really good complement to have it. If you want more information, JR, if you want to purchase it, hit my link in the bio or shoot me a message. Yeah, link in the bio, and then I have a link for this one. Or get back to the friend that connected you with this. But this Restorex is pretty cool. It is a combination of things like zeolite, which is a heavy metal magnet. It's able to get rid of bad toxins, as chlorella, chia seeds, as well as some other things like mushrooms as well too. You know, yeah, JR, check my link tree in the bio, and then purchase link should be like the second one. If you have questions, then let me know on that. But yeah, this though is a plateau buster. Restorex, and this is why it happens, is the body's very interesting how it's designed. The body, when we have like these heavy metals, imagine mercury, lead, cadmium. So if you've ever used a medication before in your life, I see my friend Joanne here. She's a cancer, I call them cancer thrivers, right? She's beat cancer and she's awesome. If you've been through chemo, if you've been through any type of radiation or just any meds, or just through our plastic filled water sources, or through our all of our issues with our food. Who here knows that our food, our air, our soil right now is more polluted than ever before, right? Put a yes in the comments if you're aware. Like there's just junk. There's just junk. Okay, when we get these junks, like our body, like in the Garden of Eden, they never had like lead in their food, right? They never had carcinogenic things in their food. They never had plastic in their food. They never had chemicals and medicine in their food, right? These are man-made types of things. So the body is typically no way of naturally detoxing these. So what happens is the body actually creates a fat cell, and the fat cell goes after these heavy metals and it stores them because the body doesn't want to be toxified. So what happens is if you're starting to lose some fat, and then all of a sudden it frees the toxin in your body's like, hey, I don't want to be toxified, so stop losing fat. So the body will literally stop your fat loss, because if you lose the fat, you'll over toxify yourself. You'll release the toxins. I think about I just had this flash of Pirates of the Caribbean. Remember that scene with Davy Crockett or whatever, and he's like, release the Kraken. I don't know. I think that's in some movies, right? Anywho, you don't want to release the Kraken in your body. You don't want to release the toxins in your body. Okay, so what's the solution? If you want to get rid of the heavy metals and consider a heavy metal detox, that's exactly what the Restorex is, double patented. You simply take a scoop, really easy. You just take a scoop like this. You take the bottle and boom. It's just like this greenish powder thing because it's got chlorella, chia seed, stuff like that. And you just drink some water with it. You swish it. It actually helps whiten teeth, by the way. My dog loves this. Our little Coco, great dog toothpaste. You drink it before you go to sleep or whenever that you want. A good post-workout as well too. And guess what? Boom! You now have a detoxification system, and you don't use the bathroom, by the way. So you're not going to take some massive number twos, not like that. It detox in a different manner. So with that, if you really have tried all those other things and you're still on a plateau with your drops, then I would consider something like a Restorex, and something's going to crack. Something's going to crack, right? So let me end this with this. By the way, if this was interesting, helpful, tag someone on this, share this with somebody. You're more than welcome to join our Wellness 360 Facebook community if you're not in there right now. It's a free community that we drop cool information like this, surrounding around the drops, but just wellness as a whole. And if you are new to the drops or you want more information on them, talk to whoever connected you with this. and they can give you some information. But let me leave it at this, right? Is I understand how frustrating it can be when it seems like everyone else out there is getting their health goals, but you're stuck. And plateaus are frustrating and annoying. And especially when you feel like you're doing all the right things and it's still not breaking through. And you're like, why is this just the case? Why is this different? I just want to reframe things that the more important thing in anything in life, whether you want to make more money, whether you want to be a better husband or wife or parent, or if it's something dealing with your health and using these drops, for example, the more important thing is that you're becoming the person of health and adopting the daily habits of a healthy person. That is more important because if you think different and you act different consistently over time, it's not a matter of if you succeed, it's a matter of when. So don't worry too much about the time frame sometimes. I get sometimes we have deadlines and stuff. But worry more about adopting the right habits over the course of time. These drops are an amazing tool. They double the speed of fat loss if that's what you're looking for. They help support the thyroid. They balance the hormones, all those other things, right? So they're cool tools, but it's not the end all be all. Our goal is to make sure that you can walk out with the habits of being a healthy person so that you can not just lose weight, but you can sustain it. That's why our clients, when they lose weight on the drops, they don't gain the weight back typically. For number one, you're eating normal food still, but we're teaching you the habits of being a healthy person. We're kind of tricking you with the drops in the sense that it's like a hack. It's like a little boost to help you get to where you need to get to. But what's more important is not just the scale. What's more important is the habits. If that makes sense, if that clicks at all and this resonates with you, type in the chat habits. Type in the chat habits, because that's why I love this program. It took me from somebody that was thinking about food all the time, addicted to that, up and down, yo-yo weight loss, just really feeling really horrible about how I looked, how I felt and everything, cravings all over the place, to somebody that took control of my body again. And now we've actually, there's been 1 million of these sets of drops sold around the world in the last 12 plus years. Did you know that? So a lot of people are getting some critical results of this, but if we can help you with anything else, let us know. And if you are watching this on Facebook or YouTube, if you have any comments or questions, would love to know what impacted you. Leave them in the comments below. And also, if you have any further questions, I plan on coming on live more. I plan to drop more details as we are seeing what's going on in our community. And I hope that these little pop-ups can really help you as well too. All right. On that, God bless. Cheers to your wellness. And if you're watching this live on Wednesday night, January 31st, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, we have our weekly Wellness 360 live Zoom. We've been bringing on some great stories. We've been bringing on some hacks to how to end this challenge and then move on to the next part. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm glad that it was helpful, Michelle. All right, guys.